Hello class and welcome back to another video lesson in the topic of human gas exchange, and this is part 3 of this topic. Now previously we talked about the organs and parts of the respiratory system. We talked about the larynx, trachea, bronchi and bronchioles, what they are, and in this video lesson we're going to talk about the alveoli. So, what is the alveoli? The alveoli, or otherwise known as the air sacs, this part of the lungs are at the end of the bronchiole. So each bronchiole will split into many alveoli. So as you can see in this picture here, there are a lot of alveoli at the end of every bronchiole. So what do they look like? Let me play you a video that shows you where they are and what they look like. Okay, so here you can see the alveoli, and you can see each alveoli is surrounded by this blue thing or this red thing, and these are the blood vessel or the blood capillaries. Okay, so in other words, these are the smaller versions of our veins, or ataupun in Malay we call it urat. Okay, so these are the smaller versions of them. And inside these blood vessels or blood capillaries is our blood. So blood is flowing through and around the alveoli. Okay, so the alveoli are sites or places where oxygen passes into the blood and carbon dioxide passes out of the blood. So this is the place where gas is being exchanged. So oxygen goes into our blood, and then from our blood is the carbon dioxide, and it goes out into the alveoli and out from the lungs and out from the nose. So this is where gas exchange takes place. So this body part here, the alveoli, is very important for us to breathe. These gas exchange occur by diffusion. So here is more detail about the alveoli. Number one, each alveolus. So alveolus is just a singular word for alveoli. So alveoli is the plural. That means if you have one of this thing, it's called alveolus. And if you have many of them, it's called alveoli. So each alveoli is surrounded by blood capillaries. So as you can see, this circular teardrop thing here is the alveolus. And then this tube thing here is the blood flow. So this is a zoom in version of the alveolus, of one alveoli. And then what's going to happen is, number two, oxygen will diffuse from the alveoli into the blood capillaries. So oxygen that we get from outside of our body, from our air, will go into our lungs and finally end up in the alveoli, and then the oxygen will simply diffuse into the blood, and the blood will pick it up and then bring it to the rest of our body. Number three, meanwhile, carbon dioxide that is from our body, that is in our blood, will diffuse from the blood capillaries and into the alveolus. Okay, so this is what we mean by gas exchange. Oxygen goes in, carbon dioxide goes out. And where does this take place? This takes place in the alveoli. And then the final thing we're going to talk about in this topic, and this is probably something different, is the effect of exercise on the rate or the speed and depth of breathing. So when we exercise, what happens to our breathing? And you probably have experienced this before, during exercise, the rate of breathing increases. That means we are breathing very, very quickly, right? And then also the depth of breathing increases. That means we inhale very deeply and we also exhale very deeply. Why do we do this? Why do we breathe deeper, and why do we breathe faster, or we have a higher rate of breathing? This is simply because to get more oxygen. And getting more oxygen will help us to produce more energy. And this is through a process called respiration. And we're going to talk about respiration in the next topic. But for now, just know that the reason why during exercise we breathe more and we breathe faster, we breathe deeper, is so that we can get more oxygen, and the oxygen can be used to give us more energy for us to do our workout. Okay, so here is a graph that shows the breathing. So at first, your breathing is normal in this part. And then once the exercise begin, you will see that you breathe a lot more and you are breathing faster. Okay, we can measure the volume of air entering and leaving the lungs using an instrument called a spirometer. So this graph here is made by measuring the breathing of something, and this is the spirometer here. Okay, it measures how you breathe in and out from your mouth. Right, so to summarize, we are talking about the alveoli in this video lesson, and you will find the alveoli at the end of each bronchiole. So what does the alveoli do? The main function of the alveoli is to give oxygen to our blood in our blood capillaries, and also to take carbon dioxide from our blood in our blood capillary into the alveoli and out from our body. So its main function is to exchange gases, especially these two gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. And make sure you know what happens to our breathing when we exercise. So during exercise, the rate or the speed of breathing increases, the depth, how deep we breathe, increases, and make sure you understand why it increases. It's because so that we can get more oxygen and we have more energy to do our exercise, to do the heavy work. All right, so that's it for this video lesson. Next time, we're going to move on to topic number 6. And topic number 6, we're going to talk about a process called respiration. Until then, thank you for watching.